Hello, everyone. Welcome to the TC Lifestyle Fit Podcast. I'm your host, Tim TC Collins, and we have an amazing, a special guest here with us today, Miss Joan Allen. She is the CEO of Destiny Cafe. How are you doing today, Joan?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
Awesome. We're doing fantastic. Before we get into today's podcast, can you tell everyone about who Joan Allen is and what is Destiny's Cafe all about?
Well, I have a son with special needs. His name's Mark, and he's adorable. And Tim, he trains with Tim, and I followed him. Obviously, he's 42, so I followed his. And I've really seen all along that these people just don't have a community or a space, and they don't have an opportunity for jobs, to find jobs. So that's why Destiny is coming along. So.
Wow. Yeah, wow. It could have been Destiny's bowling alley, Destiny's gym, Destiny's hair salon. Why Destiny's Cafe?
Well,
specifically,
because the food industry is really needing, really in desperate need of people. Actually, the whole employment segment is needing people, but in the restaurant industry, it's really necessary. And these people are so capable of doing these jobs. So we will train them. They will be paid while they're in working at Destiny. So that'll probably be some of their first jobs, and then they'll be trained, and then their opportunity to go out into other jobs in the community. So.
Okay, that's amazing. When did you get started with Destiny's Cafe?
Well, I got the 501 in 2019, and before that, I was doing research on, just what's out there in the community for these people, and it's really not a lot. And they don't get government assistance, so they kind of float. I say that they rise to the top, of course.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, wow. So, Joan, one success principle that I recently adopted is to respect another person's model of the world, because each of us have different genetic, social, environmental, physical constraints, etc. And it's useful when we understand each other's perspectives. I'm curious about what is your philosophy towards having a genuine care towards another human being, because you are this positive ball of energy, and you're very ambitious, and you've had the ability to accomplish so much in your life. And the only way to do that is through having a love for other people.
Well, and a compassion that comes from being a parent with a special needs child is just the struggles that we have just on daily living. But if you take those struggles and you triple them for these people, just daily life is hard for them. But I think I learned a long time ago, I was the fighting parent. I was the parent that said, no, my son is very structured at home, so you can't say that he's not doing his homework because of, and so I was kind of the little fighter parent, and I pride myself in that.
You see those muscles? Yeah, I get it.
So I really feel like they need a voice, and I sometimes feel like it is kind of God-driven, that this is my whole path. It just feels right, and it's coming along in that manner. I mean, there's times I've said, I don't know what I'm doing now, so I get this vision, that comes in. So it's really amazing. So
how do you maintain a fresh perspective when you're going through the process of building something when you don't know exactly how to do it?
Well, at home I have a vision board that I've followed for a long time.
Board.
And I have a little dream that pops that I visually put it on the dream board, and it really does work. And now I'm visualizing a space, which we just signed a contract to have a space looked for by a commercial real estate. Everything's a step, and it is a challenge because financially you have to be really careful as a nonprofit. It's not your money, so we have to be really careful and cognizant of where we're spending that money. So.
When you say be careful, what's the most important detail for someone who maybe they have a similar goals as yours to start a nonprofit and to change the world, improve their community? If you could give our viewers one tip, what would that be? What should they be focused on initially?
Well, I think you can't take no for an answer. Like I didn't ever know this about myself, but I do not give up.
No
and I think, and have hope.
Stick-to-itiveness.
And so the small donations that I started getting, I noticed that they started getting bigger towards the end of this last year. And they're still not where I want them, but you know, if you focus only on that part, I think it's not healthy to focus on the financials. Yes, you worry about it, but I don't put my focus there. I put my focus on moving ahead, you know. And I ask for help in the community. Today I have a strategic planning meeting with a gentleman that's just out in the community, and I just drug him in, you know. So I enjoy that about myself. I love connecting with people, and it makes me happy. So
that's so amazing. You know, one of my favorite movies that I recently watched with my wife at the theater is Big George Foreman. And the reason why I love this film so much, because this is a man who, at the height of his boxing career, making millions of dollars, successful, he walked away from the sport, gave his life to God, started a community center to serve at-risk youths in the area he was living in. Then he came back. He came back to boxing at the age of 45, lost some weight, got himself in pretty good shape, and ultimately became the heavyweight champion of the world. What is your philosophy on just success? How can you, on winning? Is it too late, or is it ever too late, or is it ever too early to get started on a success routine?
Oh no, I don't think so. And I really think that what drives me is the giving back, you know. And I was a housewife, not that to take anything away from being a housewife, but that was the time that I served my family. Now I'm serving the community, and I really feel like that was my path all along. We had a minister one time. He was my favorite. He's not here now, but I mean, he's still alive. But, and we stay in touch. But you know, his philosophy, he taught me about the sweet spot of life. And I was just thinking about my nonprofit at the time, and I kept saying, then he also made me question, are you doing the wrong good? I thought that was, he has a whole sermon on doing the wrong good, because I really had to look at.
Elaborate on that, doing the wrong good.
Because if you are creating something like this and you're not doing it for the things that I feel we're doing it for, I had to really look at that, because am I doing it to better how people think about Joan? You know, I really had to do a lot of deep searching for that. And he makes you go deeper, for sure.
That's interesting. Joan, can you tell us about your fitness routine? You can look at Mama Joan. She is clearly in great shape. Can you tell everyone about what you do every day to maintain your mental health, your physical health, and your nutritional health as well?
Well, I think I do Pure Barre, and I love it. I'm kind of addicted. I was going to invite Tim, actually, to.
Yeah, I'm ready for it. I know I'm always up for a challenge.
They invite the guys to come sometimes. So that's going to be, Tim and I are going to do that one of these days. And it's really good. I'm a little older than Tim, quite a bit older than Tim. And I really feel like that's really saved me. And when I'm starting to feel bogged down, I just have to go do my Pure Barre. And they have very early classes that I can't do the early classes. But it keeps me, it gives me more brain food, I guess you would say. And also, Tim, Tim's on my advisory board. And I really want
blessed to be on your advisory board, by the way. Thank you so much, Joan.
Well, and I want Tim to bring nutrition and exercise to my people, because to these people that we're serving, because they really, a lot of them are not in the best of health. They're not they don't make really good nutrition decisions. So it's going to be really important. That's going to be programming that we'll have on the site, so.
Yes. Out of all the sciences that we should be studying right now, nutritional science is one of the most important, if not the most important field of study, because food is essentially fuel. It's what gives you mental and physical energy. Can you tell everyone what a day of eating looks like for you, Joan? Like, what do you eat when you wake up in the morning? You talked about brain food. How does it look for you?
I'm probably not the best example. I mean, I eat, and
I love that you made that point, because none of us are perfect, but all of us are striving to be our best every day. So maybe you can give everyone a few tips in terms of what you do every day, and it's an opportunity for us to maybe help someone who's one or two steps behind us.
Well, I would say just every day make a conscious decision that you're going to do something for yourself. I think we moms get, not just moms, but we get carried away and doing things for other people, and then we forget to take care of our mind and our body, and especially food. I really think food nowadays, there's so much genetically modified food that we're not putting real food into our bodies anymore. So my problem is if I don't have access to real food, then I don't eat very well. So that's what I need to work on. This morning I had yogurt and granola, and so I try and always make a healthy choice.
That's so good.
And I really actually need to put some weight on. I know the audience would probably say, ugh. But so it's really hard. It's as hard to put weight on it as it is to lose weight. So I'm working on that now. So because my nonprofit just burns a lot of energy.
Yes. So, you are just this big ball of energy, which the world appreciates. And you are an incredible human being. Before we wrap up our podcast, can you tell everyone about a person who inspired you, someone who maybe in the past, someone from the past, someone who's alive currently, who has made a significant impact on your life?
Through the nonprofit sector?
Nonprofit, just in your life in general. It could be a school teacher, a coach, maybe. Well,
I really think
at some point when you were in school or in athletics.
Yeah, I really think this minister that I had gave me I remember going to see him. It wasn't like I was afraid to go see him, but he was a very busy person. But when I finally did go in and see him, I was crying because I was so passionate about what I wanted to do, and then I was worried about my son, and the whole time I just cried in there. And then but I kind of think tears, sometimes I just break down because I think tears are healing. They're so healing to us. But my biggest suggestion, I would say, is to do inside work on yourself. We can't change anything about people outside, and I think that goes over to my son Mark, as Tim knows. I work on his on his compassion and his understanding of himself. He's very hard on himself, but so we're working on that. But I think if you don't do the inside work, you can't give it to other people.
I love that.
Yeah. So
focus on the inside work. Well, Mama Joan, we appreciate you for being here today. Are there any other words of encouragement you'd like to share with everyone before we conclude today's podcast?
I would just say be watching for Destiny Cafe. It's coming to an area near you, and we will just be amazing. And it will be filling the need of so many people. So,
awesome. Awesome.
Thank you.
Wise words from Mama Joan. And remember the words of the late Thomas Edison: genius is 1% inspiration, but 99% perspiration. So every day, give your best effort, and you'll catch something amazing. Again, let's thank Mama Joan for gracing us with her presence. Let's flex our muscles.
Yeah.
Okay? And I'll see you all next time. Thank you for tuning in. All right.